Hi, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video we're looking into if you can use your hyaluronic acid and retinol together, and if so, how long do you need to wait in between? Yes, you can use your hyaluronic acid and retinol together. Now, you should not confuse your hyaluronic acid with exfoliating acids like AHA, glycolic or lactic acid, or BHA, salicylic acid, because those exfoliate the skin, whereas hyaluronic acid does not. It purely hydrates, plumps and repairs the skin, and therefore can be used along with any other skincare products, including retinol, so it does not have any conflicts. Now, what matters is, first of all, the hyaluronic acid product that you have at home based on the order of application. And no, you do not need to wait 30 minutes in between. So I have prepared for you an example routine so that you can see the order of application and the waiting time as well, which I want to go through step by step. And of course, as always, if you want to go over the PowerPoint yourself, you will be able to find the link in the description box down below. Now let's look into the first example, which would be an example routine in case you have a hyaluronic acid serum and then working with your retinol. Now, first of all, since you would use your retinol in the evening, I have prepared for you an evening example skincare routine, keeping the focus towards the hyaluronic acid serum and retinol, no more than that. So you can see the steps right here. You can see the little tips and waiting time as well. And below the boxes, you have the overall general guide so that you know how much you would need to use. So in the evening, you're starting off with washing your face. So this can either be with a regular cleanser, so a non-exfoliating acid cleanser to wash your face, or you can use an oil or balm cleanser. Maybe you want to do a double cleanse in case you're trying to remove stubborn sunscreen and or makeup. So make sure that you can properly wash your face, rinse it off, and then take a clean towel and gently pat all over to properly remove the remaining drops from the skin surface. This is an important step, especially when working with your hyaluronic acid serum. Then you're moving on to your hyaluronic acid serum. You can see some examples right here. In case you have a different one, nonetheless, this would be the order of application because your hyaluronic acid serum is a water-based serum, whereas your retinol serum, lotion or cream are usually either in an oil or they are already in an emulsion, so light lotion or cream-like texture, where it's way heavier than your hyaluronic acid serum. Therefore, you would use the hyaluronic acid serum at first and then follow on with your retinol on top. So once you have applied your hyaluronic acid serum to the skin, then you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, if you do not have sensitive skin at all, you can just wait about 30 seconds to a minute in between. So basically wait for the hyaluronic acid to absorb, and then you're moving on to the application of your retinol serum. However, in case you have sensitive skin, you may want to wait those 5 to 10 minutes in between so that the hyaluronic acid can absorb into the skin and that the skin can start to dry a bit before applying your retinol. Because if you're going to apply your retinol to damp skin, doesn't matter if this is now after your cleansing step or after your hyaluronic acid step, it can absorb much faster into the skin. Whereas if the skin is a bit drier, then it starts to slower penetrate into the skin, which can already dramatically reduce signs of sensitivity, especially if you should work with an extreme potent formulation of retinol. So this can be the overall formulation that's quite potent, or even the strength, such as, for example, Paula's Choice retinol treatments. They are quite intense. So if you know that you already have a bit more of a sensitive skin type, you want to wait those 5 to 10 minutes in between. So overall, you should get the idea of what the application would look like and the waiting time as well, so that you're going to adjust it accordingly to the sensitivity of your skin. But nonetheless, you would use your hyaluronic acid serum at first and then follow with your retinol afterwards. And so then this would be the example evening skincare routine in case you're working with a serum. Now, the same example routine and as well as the waiting time in between would apply if you should have a retinol at home instead of a retinol, or even if you're working with retinoids. So again, the steps are going to stay the same as well as the waiting time as well. I do want to include them so that in case you do not necessarily have a retinol at home, but another form of vitamin A at home, you know how you can still use it. Then, in case you should have a hyaluronic acid moisturizer, the order of application is going to change. So in this case, well, you would use your retinol at first and then follow with your hyaluronic acid moisturizer afterwards. So again, it still is going to be your evening skincare routine. I've explained already the cleansing step. Now again, if you do not have sensitive skin, you are going to immediately take a clean towel, gently pat all over to remove the remaining water drops from the skin surface, and then immediately move on to the application of your retinol. However, if you have sensitive skin, again, if you are trying to avoid applying your retinol to damp skin, wait those 5 to 10 minutes in between for your skin to dry and then do the application. Once you have applied your retinol, serum or lotion to the skin, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, depending on the formulation, since your retinols are usually either in an oil formulation or a light lotion or an emulsion itself, it usually takes a moment so that it can absorb. So your hyaluronic acid serum is going to absorb pretty much like right away into the skin, whereas your retinol takes a bit of time. This is where I've changed the waiting time, where you can wait between 2 to 3 minutes. So basically wait for your retinol to absorb into the skin before you're heading into your hyaluronic acid moisturizer. Now you can see some examples of hyaluronic acid moisturizers that I have right here. In general, nowadays, most moisturizers contain hyaluronic acid. Those are just some examples that I've picked. But they do not only contain hyaluronic acid, they contain other ingredients as well, such as certain oils, dimethicone, you have maybe even petrolatum jelly, so fatty substances that do not only hydrate the skin, but it helps to seal it as well. And therefore, you would use the moisturizer after you have applied your retinol product. And so then this would be the order of application and the waiting time as well. So basically, again, wait for the retinol to absorb into the skin before moving on to your moisturizer, so that you're making sure that you will have a more comfortable layering experience, so that it does not feel uncomfortable, too oily or too greasy on the skin. So give it that moment in between. And again, below you have the overall general guide if you want to learn more about how much you need to use. Now I did do the same in case you have your retinal at home or even your retinoid. Again, you can see the order of application does not change with those examples, nor does the waiting time change. It's only the retinol, retinal or retinoid product that may be changing depending on the product that you have at home. And then this would be it for the evening skincare routine. Of course, for the morning skincare routine, you do not work with a retinol at all. So in that specific case, you're going to keep the morning skincare routine pretty simple. I just went with the most important steps, which would be in the morning washing your face and then protecting the skin throughout the day if you have sun exposure. Of course, there are steps in between that you can add if you have a common morning skincare routine with other toners or certain treatments that you need for your specific skin type and skin concerns, and then you can go ahead and add them. But those are the most important steps that you should do in the morning. And this is basically it when it comes to the example skincare routines. Below the example skincare routines, you can find more information on retinol and retinoids, which you can see right here based on what they are and how they work. If you should use your retinol or retinoid during pregnancy, which is a question that I often get, I recommend talking to your doctor. In general, you should avoid it. And if you need to use a sunscreen with your retinol or retinoids, you only need to use sunscreen throughout the day. It is not needed in the evening because in the evening there is no sun. Then I do have more information when it comes to the layering your skincare products. So you have the overall guides right here when washing your face, damp skin versus wet skin, and the waiting time in between. And you have the skincare pilling as well. This is something that I want to add to this PowerPoint too, because we're working with hyaluronic acid serum. So in general, this is quite common with hyaluronic acid to experience skincare pilling. So here are the tips on how you can avoid it. I've mentioned already 2 points of them, which would be making sure to remove the remaining water drops from the skin surface after cleansing and not using too much of your hyaluronic acid so it can properly absorb into the skin, and do not sit in such a thick layer on the skin surface, otherwise you're going to rub it off, which is basically what skincare pilling is about, and it can be quite annoying. Now, if you want to know more about the products that I have picked, well, I do have my skincare product descriptions below, which you can see right here, and here you can find all the products that I have mentioned with a little description next to it, so that in case you want to choose one of them, if you're interested, you know which one you can choose and what this is all about. And this is basically what I wanted to share with you. I do hope that I could help you to clear up the confusion. That first of all, yes, you can use them together and you do not need to wait those 30 minutes in between. You can keep it short and effective. Just make sure that you're going to adjust it in case you should have sensitive skin. And this is basically what I wanted to share with you. If you now want to learn more about it, if you want to see the application visually, I do have such a video on my channel as well. And I'm going to leave it at the end of this video so that you can follow on with the entire application. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it. And if you want to support my work as I'm an independent YouTuber, you can go ahead and leave a little tip with the super thanks button below this video, or even check out the description box. There you will find a PayPal link. Thank you so much already in advance, and I do hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye.